So let's be honest, foreigners are just to have fun, and Chinese men are the real deal when it comes to getting a commitment. Woo! Today's topic is a very spicy one. Are you ready for it? So take a seat and be my guest. A heated debate recently unfolded on a Chinese dating show when a female contestant dressed in orange openly questioned whether having a foreign boyfriend will affect her chances in the domestic dating scene. Would anyone still want a girl who has dated a foreigner? She asked. What? This is kind of discriminatory. Like you're gonna be already used by a foreigner, so you are not wanted anymore, or something like that. That is very not nice. Like, how will she even get to question that? I worked in Germany for 2 years and had a German boyfriend. To be honest, foreigners are not that great. I think Chinese men are more outstanding. Okay, so she just doesn't come with this kind of weird idea and statement and just put it up in front for Chinese guys to decide on whether or not she's still worth like pursuing because she has been previously with foreigners. Not just that, but she gets to the extent of going as far as saying that foreigners are not that great, that Chinese are more outstanding. Give me a holy break. Like, this is just a little bit too much, you know? I mean, we can say Chinese, but you cannot say foreigners, because foreigners, like hello, I'm from Mexico. She dated a guy from Germany. Like, I'm speaking here to Australia, New Zealand, UK, USA. Give us a break. Why always, why would you guys, China people, men and women, by the way, this is a woman, and I'm not defending her because in some previous videos, some guys were considering me as a defendant of women in China. No, I'm just questioning the behaviors or statements. And in this occasion, I'm just really believing this is quite nonsense. First of all, you address the issue of, no, you address this as an issue or as a possible threat for your future, that perhaps Chinese men will not want you because you previously were dating a foreigner. And not just that, but also just saying that foreigners are not worth it or just less outstanding than Chinese, when foreigners, it's like the whole entire world. You cannot, how to say, judge one German guy for the entire, you cannot judge the entire world just because of that one German guy. Give me a break, seriously? Like, why is always like foreigners and Chinese? Like the only two races is like foreigners is a whole entire race on its own, and Chinese or the Han race, it's just another one. So Chinese and foreigners is like us Mexicans have certain like personality traits when it comes to dating men, yeah, and maybe some other nationalities too, not maybe, for sure. So you cannot really even compare or make the statement as always Chinese and foreigners. Perhaps you can say Germans. And even though I think it'll be a little biased because you cannot like judge all the Germans just because of that specific boyfriend of yours that was not as outstanding as you expected him to be. Her remarks sparked applause from Chinese male participants. Obviously, I guess she was wanting to gain some popularity, seemingly pleased with the compliment. Wow, it's not like you have to date all those guys or you have to please all those guys. However, the conversation quickly took a controversial turn when a male contestant in a black t-shirt took the stage with a direct question. When you date a Western man, are you looking for marriage or is it just for fun? He asked. Do all women who work abroad seek foreign boyfriends? This is just very nonsense. Like, seriously, these guys are not kids. You know, this is the guy that is asking the question. I think they're above 20. And like, how can you even get to ask, do all women who work abroad are seeking foreign boyfriends? It's like just asking, do all Chinese people eat dog? Obviously, no. You just have to have a little bit sense of mind, Like, sometimes they are not even looking for. They just went abroad to study, to work, to survive. Some of them, like, who knows which situation is he or is cheaper. Sorry, involving in order to have escaped sometimes to being abroad instead of in mainland. And some other times the parents just push them to go abroad to study, etc. So it's not like they are like taking the initiative and actively seeking foreign boyfriends. Sometimes it just happens, you're living abroad, like just like myself when I was living in China, and you get to meet people that are quite nice with you. And of course, one person living abroad is just a very different story from one person living in a local place where you feel the environment is familiar, where you feel safer, etc. So that will get you more prone to have this kind of not a relationship per se, like boyfriend and girlfriend, but that will make you more willing to share your either sometimes sad moments or happy moments with someone, being so far away from home. So it will be a reason to get closer to someone in a way. And it's not like they're all seeking, like you're not seeking for the sake of seeking. I was not in China seeking for foreign boyfriends. Like, I was in China to study, and therefore things happened. And of course, I went out with some amazing guys. And it's not like you are looking for fun or you're looking for marriage. Of course, it really depends, But in like, I'm not say foreigners, but I'm gonna say in the West usually, because in the East is quite different for many Eastern countries, like Asian countries. The whole idea of having this age and getting to marry is not as popular as just finding someone you like, hanging out, and after that deciding is the one you want to share with your life with, although that can be questionable whether it's the best way or not. But it's not like you are seeking someone to just have fun. Sometimes it happens like you really get to be in love or like that one person. It's not like you're seeking directly marriage or fun, either or. It's not that drastic. Sorry. The question visibly irritated the woman. If you are not sincere, or if you are trying to imply something, do you think I can't tell? She retorted. The man, seemingly surprised by her reaction, defended himself. I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just curious. Yeah, all women are seeking for boyfriends. It's just very nonsense, What on the world this question is all about? Like, even though she will state like, yes, all the Chinese women living abroad are seeking foreign boyfriends, it's just a fallacy. It's just a non-true statement, because she doesn't know, she's not aware of all the Chinese women around the world, and what are they seeking for, or what are they engaging with, this, which kind of relationship. So that's just a very nonsense question. Okay. Frustrated, the woman stormed off the stage, leaving the audience murmuring about the intense exchange. The topic of past relationships with foreigners resurfaced at another dating event when a male participant asked a female contestant, "While you were in the USA, did you interact with men there?" This is just... Or to put it bluntly, did you have a foreign boyfriend? And they say this is bluntly, but you know what they want to get into? Like, did you sleep over with a foreigner? A foreigner. Like, if she was in the USA, she could have been with let's say an Iranian, a Mexican, a Colombian, and whatever. A foreigner. It's just like us and foreigners. They are threats to us all. Like, it's just very... You can see how it's quite discriminatory. It's just very not pleasant, I just really feel even China is very developed in some ways. Still, there's a long way to go, or perhaps it will never be the way we think. Perhaps they will not develop develop, is that like evolve, sorry, like this kind of civilizations on the West. And I'm not saying all of the Chinese, of course. I couldn't be saying that, otherwise I'm just gonna be contradicting my own words. But mainlanders sometimes are just too closed, too blind. Of course, we cannot understand why is that. Without hesitation, the woman confirmed, yes, I did. I was there for more than 3 years. Kind of like saying I couldn't be alone, maybe. The man's response was firm. I cannot accept a woman who has dated a foreigner. What? Give me a break. This is just a very nonsense. You can see here the racism sometimes, but the racism is where, foreign race, like us, the Han race, versus or against the foreign race, which are the whole entire world, who is not Chinese. Angered by his statement, the woman immediately fired back, then stepped down. This response drew support from some female attenders who felt that if a man could not accept a woman's past, he should not waste her time, of course. And asking all these questions, the discussions from the dating shows quickly spread online, sparkling mixed reactions among Chinese netizens. One user commented, "Why is it such a big deal if a woman has dated a foreigner? A relationship is a personal choice." Well said. You can see that there is a lot of, once again, you guys gonna maybe some of here think that I was defending women in previous videos. I'm just really in the side of evolution, It's like this is very uncivilized from guys, sometimes Chinese guys specifically, how they treat girls or women, and therefore now girls are somehow just not being their victims because they have the power enough to stand up for themselves, to provide for themselves, study, have a life, and therefore they're like, I'm not gonna deal with your BS, and that's it, I prefer to be alone. Now you get it. Why is it so that so many women are just making this kind of choice? Of course, it's not, it's not ideal. Of course, I have also stated in this and many other videos that I do believe we need men need us, we need each other. But in this situation, it's just better to stay alone than to stay with this kind of males, boys. Okay, another growth. The man in black was being rude. His question implied that women who dated foreigners are not serious about relationships. That's disrespectful. However, some netizens sided with the male contestant, arguing that cultural values play a role in dating preferences. And it's natural for people to have standards when choosing a partner. If a man doesn't want to date a woman who has had a foreign boyfriend, that's his personal preference. Okay, so you, the one that is so exquisite about this information, should also provide all your information about who and where did you have girlfriends, encounters, affairs, and all that jazz, in order for girls to be informed enough to either choose you or not, because you have been also a gigolo all over the place and you want a very pure and saint woman to arrive with you to the altar. It's just very nonsense. Others suggested that the issue is about deeper stereotypes and assumptions. Not all women working abroad date foreigners, and even if they do, it doesn't mean they are not serious about relationship, another user stated. Obviously, seriously, you have to be very, very, I don't know how to say. Guys, I live it abroad in different countries. I live it in China, I live it in Italy, and I live it in Singapore. And I was not going to those countries with the aim of seeking foreign boyfriends, once you are there and you're living there, situation happens okay, it's not like sleepovers, or I'm not talking about all that because I'm also against that. But I'm talking about let's say when I was studying in Shenzhen University, I met amazing guys, amazing girls, girls and guys. I will have amazing friends overall. And I will have this attractive appeal to guys. So they will ask me for dates, let's go have a dinner, let's go to this place, let's go to that place. And just socialize in general, not really I'm sleeping over with all these guys, because that is not my cup of tea. I'm a very conservative in that regard. But I will get to the opportunity, of course, to go out with these persons and get to meet them, just because they're different race or different skin color or whatever, sometimes even religion. It's not that they're still people, humans, and are still worth meeting, worth sitting with, to talk, to learn from them, to also even get to nourish them with also my knowledge or my culture or my personality, just myself, as a woman. So why would you miss the opportunity to be in a foreign country as well as you're making girlfriends? You can be making a good kind of acquaintance as a. I'm not in for the boyfriends no more, because I had so few boyfriends already. So I'm just going for the husband now. But I will still agree that it's your chance to get to meet amazing people, no matter if where they're from. They're all over the world, so why not go out, have a good time? And I'm not talking once again to just go wild and sleep over. No, I'm talking about go to great places together, have great conversations, just go for a meal, just go for a coffee. There were these times when I was in China where I spent a few nights and I was not even with them, like literally in a place. We were going, let's say, Sheko Port, and we will stay there talking for hours. And then all of a sudden, it was already like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It happened to me like with 2 or 3 guys that I was speaking with, that we will stay all night just talking in a place. Like there was a time, and there was another time where it was in Shangri-La Hotel in Futien, where I stayed this one time nearby the Christmas of 2019, and we stayed there until 6 a.m. in the lobby of the hotel because we were drinking tea, and all of a sudden, somehow, I guess I am a very talkative person, you can see by now, and they enjoy my talk, and we just stayed there, and that was very nice. It's just very unforgettable moment that I will still have in my mind, and sometimes, and they still have these memories too. And if I get to see these guys, they will be very glad to just come over and give me a hug, like, hey, how have you been? Even sometimes in the social media, they will see me, and I'm very happy that I got to meet these people. So why not? Why not? One thing is to be just going wild and like just not making the best of your time whenever you are wherever. And another thing is that also you're gonna be that judgy about the past of those persons, and that it's just very unfair, as in previous videos I have mentioned a few times, and therefore some of you guys have been just maybe thinking, or it feels like I'm on the side of women, but now you can understand that it's not I'm on the side of them, but I'm just on the side of fairness. That is very unfair. And maybe you're gonna say, yeah, of course it's not fair that they ask for all those requirements. We are not talking about bride price in this video and all that jazz. We are just talking about how one woman can be judged so hard. Even of some of my videos, one of my videos in my Spanish channel, there was this guy commenting like, from 16 to 23 years old, you are great for marriage. From 16 to 23. And from like 23 to 30, you are already quite old. And from 30 to 40, you are a grandma. And he was just judging that I was already in the grandma stage and that I was not worth like whatever. And whenever I see these comments, I don't have any feelings, But I'm just once again, it's just a lot of men are very judgmental when it comes to women's past, women's age, women's whatever, women's body structure, like if they're fat, if they're this, if they're that. And not taking in account, of course, the bride price and all the requirements, because it's not about that. But it's about like just women are quite traumatized about all that jazz, all that nonsense that they have to come through in different cultures. This is my Mexican culture. Of course, they have this kind of comments, just like the one I have previously stated. And women will also feel, like not deserving of, or will feel not entitled to have a a good husband because I'm over 30. Why will I deserve that? You are right. I'm already too old to have a good person by my side, etc. So those beliefs are just beliefs. I do think that in any stage of our lives, we deserve just the best. Of course, if it's that we are willing to believe, and also it's just a reflection of yourself. You cannot expect for the best and be the worst. It just doesn't work like that. Anyhow, I just feel like so many women in China, all over the world, but specifically we are seeing that in China, they are oppressed, although they are not wearing. Sometimes they say, oh, in the Muslim countries, women are oppressed, they don't have a voice and this and that. Although China is quite civilized in some ways and quite advanced in regards to technology and all that development, when it comes to relationships, family, and gender equality, it's not like that, I couldn't imagine how it will be if by now the gender proportion will be like, let's say there are so many males that they can play with girls because there are so many women that they can play with them because they are in need of one male. So like the way it is in Mexico, that would be very crazy. So since it's not like that, women still have a voice, I believe. I'm not saying is right or anything like that, because it's sometimes they also, of course, over exaggerate with the requirements. But if they didn't have at least this to hold on to, I cannot understand how we'll be there in China. Like men will just be stepping over on them, because although it's not like that and they are still having leftover men, like why, if there are very few still, Let's get to some of the comments. It is very simple. The local men feel intimidated by foreign men. How can I compare myself with why a lack of self-confidence caused it? Just imagine if some foreigners was saying he could not date a woman who dated a Chinese person before, people will be screaming. What a retarded question. I totally agree. So if she dated an Asian American, she's also tainted goods? Chinese women traveling abroad behave just like every other woman abroad. In their minds, those relationships don't count because they are going back to China and have no plan to stay. I don't agree with this comment, because I have a lot of friends and us foreigners living, like people that is living and working abroad. One person can change your whole destiny. It's like you don't have this kind of plan in mind. Some they do, some they don't. But I know a lot of foreigners that got married in Shenzhen when I was in after Shenzhen Uni, with their soulmates being Chinese or foreigners. It's not that we are tied up to a certain outcome, and therefore I'm just gonna be playing, and not just that I am playing, or girls that are just going out with guys for fun, they are also being played with, This is something that women don't realize much, that they say they are playing with guys, but they are also played with. Anyways, I don't agree with such games or such very not serious lifestyle. Look at this. It's like when Americans travel to Las Vegas, sleep with a dozen men, then come home and pretend that what happened in Vegas stay in Vegas, except the kind of mentors. Well, I don't agree with this, and I was saying all my video that in my case, that was not what I stood for when I was in China, and still until this day. So I will meet people, but that doesn't mean I have to sleep with them. Why would I? I will just reserve that for the one. Saying foreign and lumping us all under one category makes her sound retarded. Chinese people need to wake up and learn Japanese, American, Thai, and Indian are not Chinese, but all are very different. Thank you for that comment. Just what I was previously saying is like the foreign race and the Chinese race. Like we, two different races, and the Han race or the Chinese race is just above all. More race baiting nonsense. Yeah. You get this same insecurity with white men if a girl dated a black guy. Okay, I'm not sure about that. And yet, these are the same people who complain about racism abroad. So he was looking for a virgin on a dating place, and she was looking for a real bratwurst sausage, but was unfortunate to find one. This really looks like a fabricated, very fabricated. I cannot accept a woman who has dated a foreigner. Wow. Why is it always that woman who gets this kind of questions and black flash, while most men get high fives and applause for dating outside their cultures? Exactly. It says double standards. What do you guys think about it? This is what I stand up, exactly, not defending Chinese women. I mean, whatever unfairness. And it's not, you know what I mean. Hopefully you know. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, as well as be welcome to support me down in buying me a coffee, 2 or 3. Kisses to the world. Until the next one.